Well, my name is Harriette Moody.
I'm Mai Vukcevich.
We're co-workers at the Frankie Institute at the University of Chicago. We're here. I'm interested in Mai's involvement with Snow City Arts. Tell me how you got involved. First of all, I'd like to know, what is it?
Snow City Arts is a local Chicago nonprofit arts education organization. And what they do is they take artists into 4 Chicago area hospitals: Rush, Stroger, Lurie, and UIC. And they bring artists in to work one-on-one with the kids that are in the pediatric units. And the kids get CPS credit for the work that they're doing.
Okay.
And a lot of the kids have long-term relationships with Snow City Arts because maybe they're in and out of the hospital throughout a period of years as children struggling with disease, with health problems. So Snow City Arts has long-term relationships with a lot of patients, and they help kids find the artist within them, and they help kids learn to be good storytellers.
When you say artists, are we talking musician, or we're talking artists like art that actually draws, or
That's a great question.
Yeah,
It's
artists.
like artists that work in many different mediums.
Okay.
It could be music, it could be drawing, painting, it could be computer animation,
Okay.
it could be digital storytelling, a lot of different mediums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They pretty much, the artists take their cues from the kids.
Okay.
So if whatever the kid is interested in, that's what the artist is gonna run with.
Okay. So do you try to match the kids up with certain artists that the kids like? Say, so I like music. Would you try to sync me with someone that's a music artist?
Exactly. And I think that leads me to think about one of the challenges for the artists, because kids in the hospital, they have a lot of people that they have to do what they're told, right? The doctors, the nurses, they have to say yes and do what they're told. And so sometimes with the artist, when they initially come in, the kids need to be able to say no to somebody, to feel like they have control over something in their life that's going on, because they don't have control over the health stuff. So sometimes the artists really have to be perseverant and continue to visit kids and to try to find different ways of reaching out to them and finding something that's exciting. So exactly what you're saying about finding what kind of art they're interested in and running with that.
How did you get started with that? Who introduced you?
So I did the Southside Arts and Humanities Network's board leadership program, and that was about teaching us how to be on a nonprofit board.
Okay.
And in that time, I got to learn about over a dozen different Southside area arts and humanities organizations. And Snow City Arts was one of them. And they showed a video that just made me start crying, because it reminded me of being a kid in the hospital, and just being in the hospital and waiting for loved ones, and thinking about how you just want something positive. You want your loved one to have a positive experience. You want them to have something good while they're in the hospital and having all this stress. And I thought art is an amazing thing, and what a great opportunity for kids who are struggling with something.
Yeah, sounds like an interesting program. How long have you been connected with them?
So this is about my 2nd year.
Okay.
And I'm on the auxiliary board. I just made a major milestone. I raised over $4,000, and I was just elected into a leadership role on the auxiliary board, so I'm very excited.
I am too, and I'm not surprised. I'm really not. So now, where is this organization located? Is it something here on the south side, or do you go up north, or?
So they are based at Rush.
Okay.
So, somewhat on the south side, part of the UIC, that area. And then we have our board meetings up at Lurie Hospital.
Okay.
So right on Chicago
Avenue.
Avenue there.
So basically, when you're speaking about Russian UIC, you're talking about the actually further more north than south. I mean, even though anything that's south of Madison is south side.
Considered south side.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the north end of the
Yeah,
south
the
side.
north end of the south
Exactly.
side. Okay.
Yeah.
Because when you speak of south side, I'm always thinking deep south.
Right.
More.
Yeah.
But this is more on the north end of
The
it.
north end of the south side.
Okay.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.